testing. Hold up, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at this with the 1-2s. I'm gonna get one of those streamer things. They have like those little keyboards where they just, I don't know. It looks good. I need to see. That's my problem right there. I'm already trying to buy something. I don't need to buy nothing. That's the problem. But anyway, we're live. Hello, how are you? I am back from my dentist appointment. Let me tell y'all. I thought we were just gonna get our trays and then come on back to the house. Okay, that's what I thought we was gonna do. And I get in there. They trying to do a procedure, talking about now I'm gonna get some buttons. And I'm only going to wear the rubber bands on the right side, okay? And I'm just like, buttons? What are y'all doing? What are y'all talking about? Buttons. Let me make sure the audio. Okay, yeah. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Hold on, I'm just making sure that everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I have to make sure that, because what I'm going to do before I went to my dentist appointment, I was playing with this system or whatever, and I want to start doing my live streams landscape and vertical. Okay, I set it up, but I don't want to mess up, so I'm probably going to start that on the next one, or maybe I'll play around and do a live stream tomorrow just to see if it's going to work. But I was trying to set it up and do some stuff and everything like that, but girl, it's just a lot. It was a lot, and I had to hurry up and get to that appointment. But anyway, they gave me some more trays. I have another appointment in November, but it's just like now I have like these metal looking things in there, and I have my stuff on now. And you know what? Cut the show. Cut the show, okay? They don't hurt, but they are uncomfortable, okay? And I'm just like, yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm over it because my teeth look good, but it's just kind of like, girl, how much more? Because he was like, gonna start on this side, then we're gonna go on this side. You know what? Whatever, okay, because them last couple of trays was hurting y'all don't understand, and so now I'm scared with these new trays that they're gonna hurt, plus I have this new attachment. And then I looked in the mirror and I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, look like Frankenstein to me, but it's only on the inside. It's not like out here, but it's a lot, but I had to let y'all know. Anyway, so today we're talking about we don't care. We don't care. And if you do, I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to de-influence you from caring. Okay. I don't want you to care. I don't want you to be too attached. Excuse me if I can't talk. I don't want you to be too attached to everything out there in the streets. Okay. I feel like everything is going on in the world. I did videos. My last 3 videos were highly political and everything like that, but it's just kind of like we live in a world where so much is going on. So every time you get on the scroll, it's telling you like there's so much to care about. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's almost too much information. We're getting in too much information. We've never been more informed, but I feel like we're overstimulated with so many different things that are happening all at the same time. And I feel like things have always been going on in the world. We have always been things just pop, but this is the first time where we have access to that information. And so with you having so much access, you have to figure out a way to filter it out. Okay, filter it out. And I'm gonna give you a couple of tips and things that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to make sure I'm on my talking because I want to, I don't want to mess up or whatever. But anyway, we're wired to care. We're wired to be empathetic. And if you're not, I don't know, you might be a sociopath or so, you know what I'm saying, a little crazy. But other than that, like most of us, like when you read something, when someone tell you something, you care. You're like, oh my God, what can I do to help, right? But what happens when we have so much trauma, just everything is just blowing up everywhere? What can you do? There's nothing that you can physically do right in that moment to solve that problem. All you can do is be like, man, that's messed up, but how, but what if you have your own things in your own life where everything is going crazy. That's the other part too. I feel like when you hear from other people and other people are telling you, you know, hey, this and that and the third is going on in the world, or you're talking to a friend or an associate or a coworker and they're telling you about their life, and it's just like, well, what can I do? I can't do it. I got stuff going on too. You know what I mean? But you're not sharing as much. You know what I mean? Like, you're not sharing as much, but you just kind of feel like, you know, I have things going on in my life. You know, where's the empathy for me? You know, but it's just kind of like you have to just detach. Women, especially, we are wired to care, to be empathetic, to be doing the emotional labor. In fact, we do a lot of jobs that are emotionally laborious. You know, having a conversation with someone and them, you know, dumping, I'm not going to say dumping, but they're offloading their emotions onto you. That would be telling somebody about their day or something bad that's going on. You take on some of that trauma load. You feel things and experience things as people are explaining them to you. You know what I mean? And it's like, as we constantly say the things that are going on, we relive it, right? So if somebody tell you what's going on, they're gonna relive it, and then you're gonna empathize with them, and you're gonna feel that energy, and you're gonna start to put yourself in their shoes, and it's like you're experiencing it as they're experiencing it. And so now you're in just a whole trauma bond of communication that's happening right here. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that you can't care, it's just that we need to scale it back. We're doing entirely too much, right? Too much. Also, another thing that we have, you know, is the social media, the influencers, celebrity culture. I feel like celebrity culture is coming down just a little bit, but when I was coming up, it was very important to know how celebrities felt. It was very important to identify with celebrities. It was important to identify with people that look like you, or, you know, people that you want to look like, and different things of that nature. You value those opinions. But what happens is when you have too many people that have an opinion, you know, too many people have a viewpoint. They have a perception on everything. And it's just kind of like, how do you align? It's just too much. It's too much, right? How do you stop caring? How do we stop caring? How do we pull it back? How do we pull it back? The other thing is that consumerism, you know, caring because you need to buy something. They want you to buy something. They want you to feel these things so you can support this thing, so you can vote for this thing, so you can subscribe to this thing. It's just a lot. It's a lot, but it's too many things. Like, I don't feel like we as human beings have the capacity to care about every single thing. We can feel for it, we can empathize for it, but as far as taking it in and really just, and I feel like that's why we're all experiencing this group trauma. Like, we're, every time we turn on the news, something going on, we're experiencing it all together. Like, we have to deal with that. You know, we have to deal with it. And I just want to, you know, because I don't really, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't be caring like that for real. I don't. It's hard for me to care. I know in my last videos, you know, I was very passionate, because I can be passionate, but at the end of the day, I really feel like we're living in our own reality, and the reality is what you make it. You know, to most people, you know, they would say that that's delusional or whatever the case may be, but you have to protect your energy. You have to protect what you think about. Your attention matters. Your attention, what you think about, what you hold space for, that is what is going to materialize into your life. Okay, so if you're always, you know, worried about what's to come or never to come or whatever, you're manifesting that because you're thinking about it, you know, and that's how you stress yourself out, because you think something is going to happen, but it's really not. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, right? And that's something that you have to heal within yourself, because what's real, what's not real. The only thing that's real is what's in front of you, right? So if you can't touch it physically, if you can't, you know, interact with it, if it's not affecting your day to day, then no, you're not really, you can't care about that. Like, I feel like if we still have to go to work every day, if we still working, if we still doing this and we still doing that, then just focus on the fact that we still going to work, we paying these bills, we doing our thing, and just work with what you can work with. We can't work with things that are in the moon. I'm not going to the moon. That's what my TikTok, I saw that video. It's like, why would I care that the earth is flat? What kind of information? Only take in the information that is useful to you in that moment, right then and there. You know what I mean? If I don't care about the celebrities. We should not be caring about this. Are they going to pay these bills? Are they going to do this? Are they going to, I mean, it's a nice little talking point to offload it, right? To talk about, oh, this, and it's just making conversation, but just leave it at that. We should not be having gender wars. We should not be having, talk pieces, think pieces, just all this confusion, right? This just negative energy toward each other because of what somebody else said and what they think. I feel like we make things real. We make things real because we spend so much time on the internet and we are in echo chambers. And so what an echo chamber is like you're on the internet, but you only interact with things that solidify what you already believe, or you only hear things that you already believe, and it just keeps cycling that information. It might not even be something that you believe. It might just be something that because you're interested in this one thing, they're gonna find all these other things to show you. That's how the algorithm works. So if you're on the Instagram, TikTok, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if you like one thing, or even if you're friends with somebody and they like this thing, they assume that you're gonna like it because they like it because y'all are friends, right? So even if y'all like, and that's how you can find out like how other people feel. Because like, who messing up my algorithm? Yes. And so if you ever interact with things that you don't like on the algorithm, just cut it off. Cut that algorithm off. Close out. Open up a new a new app. I was gonna say a new browser, but a new thing. And it's like the apps compete with each other. So like if I'm in Instagram and Instagram shows me something that I don't want to see, I'll close it out. Okay, and then I'll go to TikTok and I'll just bounce around like that because it helps the algorithm. It needs to learn. Since it's machine learning, it needs to learn. You have to train your algorithm to only give you things that you care about. I don't care about all this other stuff, so don't put that in front of me, okay? It's not relevant. If they give me an ad that I don't like, close it out, open up a new one. Okay, and if I do that enough times, I'm gonna just close everybody off and then cut my phone off, and then they'll figure it out. That's how you play around with these things. But it's just kind of like the algorithms mimic your real life. If you are constantly feeding into things, you're gonna keep getting these same type of things. Okay, it's gonna materialize into your life. It's gonna crystallize, if you will. That's too far gone when things start crystallizing into your life because you are giving them too much space and opportunity. My book in here, I know y'all tired of me. I know y'all tired of me with these books, girl, but this book is talking about how we are living in Maya. All right. We are living in Maya, which is a state of real, non-real illusion. Right. And the best way I can explain it, there are people that say that we live in a simulation or something like that. But I think that it's much more complex than that, but I truly believe that life is what you make it. And the only way that you are able to make life into something that you want to live is that you have to control what you think about. It is hard to control what you think about when you are constantly being influenced and people are telling you what you should think about. Okay? Influencing is the new wave. I don't want to say mind control, because if you're influencing, it doesn't sound as bad when you say like, oh, I'm an influencer, but it's just, I don't like that word because I just want to gather with like-minded individuals. I don't want to be a part of making people feel the way that I feel. I believe that there's healthy discourse. Like, we should be able to have that. We shouldn't be all feeling the same type of way. You don't have to buy something just because I bought it. In fact, don't buy nothing that I buy, because what happened when I can't find it? Okay, I didn't have my pasta. I don't know. I just, but I feel like we should all be thinking our own thing. And I don't think that we should be amplifying voices that could be catastrophic. You know what I mean? Because influencers, people that are in the public eye and different things of that nature, whether they know it or not, like if people look up to you and people make choices on your behalf or whatever the case may be, everybody has free will. But that's a slippery slope to have some negative karma. You know what I mean? So you have to be mindful of that, and you would never want to steer anyone wrong, right? But as far as the regular person, I just feel like we care too much about other people and how they feel and what's going on with them over there somewhere else, because we have to fix our own lives. I feel like sometimes we care because it's a way for us to escape, right? I want to escape into another thing, you know, so maybe I can go fix something over there or put my attention, but I feel like the attention needs to be put on at home. We need to be worried about us, you know what I mean? Worried about our own lives. Hold on, we got the chat. Hold on, I had to make sure. Yes. Anyway, so we have to care about ourselves first, and that's the other part. So what happens when you care about other people more than you care about yourself? I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't identify with that, but it's just like we overcommit. We get exhausted from caring about other people or other people. I don't want to say other people, I mean like other people's problems, other situations that you have no control over. For instance, the news, things that are happening, we can't control that. We can vote, yes, but what happens when your vote doesn't go? Things just don't go the way you thought it was gonna go. You know what I mean? I feel like we can be angry for a moment, but I don't feel like we should be angry over time. We should strategize and come up with something that we can handle for ourselves. Do things that matter to us. Focus on self-care, okay? Taking a walk. People say touch grass, but it's just like you have to do something that you like, something for you, you know? And if you have an issue of like, how do you feel about yourself? Looking yourself in the mirror and taking care of yourself. A lot of people don't want to look themselves in the face and spend time with themselves. You know, like if you spend time by yourself, you start to realize like, oh, well, what do I really care about? I'm angry, but where can I place this anger into something that is actually going to materialize in my own life instead of putting it everywhere else? You know, your attention is divided. The TV, social media, the music, everything. It's just too many things, too many ways that you can go. You're like, what am I supposed to do? I want to mobilize, but how can I mobilize? You need to detach. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, girl. I do not be caring. I find something to fill my time with. Okay, I read my books. I take my dog for a walk. Get your hair done, get your nails done, feel good, look good. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like to do. That's what I like to do with my spare time. For real. You know, awareness practices. You know, I have a nice little fancy outline, but I be trying to do my own thing. Here's the thing. Awareness practice. Pulling your awareness back. Something that you could do is, do I still have to pay bills? If we still have to pay bills, if we still have to go to work tomorrow, it's not going to be something that we care about in the long run. That's not going to give you the best bang for your buck, okay? We should only be focusing on things that is going to concrete in our regular day life. Is it affecting you right now? Right now, you know, something that would affect you right now, I need to go get this gas. Now, the gas is higher because the higher cost of living, but we still need to go get gas. So we got to get the gas, you know. Focus on what you can do each and every day. Detachment. I try not to, you know, tell people that I care or don't care about certain things, because I feel like a lot of people are married to these things. Like, this is, if they didn't talk about these specific topics, they wouldn't have nothing to talk about. They wouldn't have nothing going on in their lives outside of the fact that they identify with some type of subgroup, or they saw something and this is the, you know, share your ideas, share your things. But it's like, you know, at what point do we stop caring so much about what they tell us to care about, and we care about our own thing? Like, what are you building? What are you doing for yourself today? What is you? We're not trying to be narcissistic, but we live in a world that wants us to prioritize everything outside of ourselves, and we need to prioritize ourselves. We need to. Okay? So, work culture, that's something that always have us caring about something else, because it's directly tied to paying bills. Like, we got to pay our bills. We have to be at work. But the work is going to be there tomorrow, right? If the work is going to be there tomorrow, then there's only so much. The work hours is the amount of time that you're going to be caring, right? And even then, it is just a job. I know they say that, the job market is all of this and all of that, but it's just like, we care, but they're paying us for our time, but they're not, like, we're not their property, if that makes sense. Like, we're not their property. Okay, they're paying for our time, and we care about the job for the allotted time that we are up there. After that, we're going home, right? Today is Friday. We're going home, and we're not working over the weekend. We do not care about what's going on at the job, outside of the job, which is why your girl, we're not doing those other videos. We have to detach from our job. So many people are married to their job. Can I tell you this? We had a coworker pass away. Okay, we had a coworker pass away. That happened this year. Okay, nobody knew until it was time. Like, she was supposed to be at work and she didn't come into work. You see what I'm saying? She had no family. It was sad. It was sad. So when I tell you, y'all need to stop worrying about these jobs. Stop worrying. You don't have to be like me and be completely, crazy, but it's just kind of like, that happened. Okay. And then what got me, nobody knew who she was. I didn't know who she was. You know what I mean? She worked in a different department, but she worked at our job. She worked there and she didn't make it. It's never that serious, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's never that serious. There are people that be working their job and then they go home and have a heart attack. They have all these different things. And what do they get out of that? They didn't make it. They're not making it. These jobs are stressful, right? It's just, I don't feel like it's worth it. Like, you work your entire life and something could happen at the blink of an eye. Like, you don't know what you have. Like, it's an unknown, right? That's what I mean. Detach. You should not be getting high blood pressure because of your job. You should not be getting, high blood pressure. I have anxiety, heart palpitation. Like, we shouldn't have none of that because of our job. Being stressed out. Stress is a silent killer, And we don't know why that lady ain't make it, but it was sad enough for me. Cause I'm like, dang, the school year just started. That is not what I was, you know what I mean? Like, dang, stop, like, detach. Yes, it's your job, but just because that's your job, that is not your life. Okay, your job is not your life. We're working so that we can pay these bills and everything like that. But don't ever get it twisted. Like, that is what you're here. Your sole purpose in life is to clock in and out every single day. Detach. Okay, I'm trying to de-influence you. It's not, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's lethal, but it is. It is. That's something that I have seen. That's just one example. I knew another lady from when I first started teaching. She didn't make it either, because it was that stressful. Had a heart attack. Yes. Okay. She was like around my age, a little, maybe 2-3 years older than me, So yeah, like, that's why I am completely detached. I am not, girl, it is not worth it. It is not worth it to be caring about. I know it's the job. We need our check and everything like that, but God will provide. And if you ever get into a situation where, it's either you quit this job or you ain't gonna make it, then you need to just quit the job, period, because life is so fragile, and we be having the whole years ahead of us, and to lose it over some emails and some reports and some documents and computers and Microsoft Teams and Zoom is not that is not going to take me out. That is not going to do it. So that's what I mean. I was trying not to be serious about it, but it is very serious. Okay, it is a very serious matter. You need to take care of yourself and you need to detach. Okay, detach. Yes, it's your job. Yes, they're paying you for the time, but they're paying for your time. They're not paying for you. You are not property. of the company. You're not. You are your own person, your own being, have your own feelings, your own everything. Okay. Listen, I know they don't want us to work like robots. Well, until they replace us with the robot, they just got to deal with the human emotion and the human capacity. Period. Moving on. I know I'm going out of order, but it's Friday. Okay, so hold on. Let me check. I feel like I covered it because I wanted to share some of my book. That's why I was talking a little fast. Okay. I'm going to talk about something that helped me to detach completely. Okay. Hold on. All right. So if you want to manifest things, okay, if you want to manifest things into your life, you have to realize that you can't be too attached. I don't like to say the same word over and over in the sentence or whatever, but it's just like you can't be too attached. You can't be too married. You can't be like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to bring this into your life. You have to detach from the influence of whether it go right or left or whatever, or even how it comes into your life, right? And we have to understand that our mind is a very, very powerful organ in our body. Okay, it says for human consciousness to operate on quantum level, it must reside outside of the space and the time. In theory, such a state of consciousness would mean that we would be able to access information of both the past and the future, and that every moment of our lives could be made to influence every other moment, both forward and back. How you gonna influence? How you gonna influence the quantum level if you worried about other stuff? How can you master yourself, right? How can you master yourself if you worried about everybody else? You know, how could you ever get to this level? How could you ever get to this level? The power of yours. I ain't even started this book yet, but it's just like, how can you get there if you worried about everybody else? Okay? And it's not like other people don't know that your mind is a powerful organ. They know that, which is why they need to keep your attention. All social medias, I said it yesterday, all social medias run on watch time. How long can your attention be held, right? And so with the TikTok and the Reels and on Instagram, it's just kind of like after you finish using it, you feel like a little drained a little bit, you know, like they call it doom scrolling. You get a headache or you feel a little fatigued after because you've consume so much information all in one sitting, and then more than likely none of that information that you consume had anything to do with the previous one. Okay, unless you were like searching something. So if you're just going down the timeline of the Reel or the TikTok, then you'll interact with so many different things all in one sitting, you know, and it's a dopamine hit. All right, and so you get addicted to it. Girl, it's too much. It is too much. It is too much. I'm trying to see, girl. I know. So, in this book, it basically says that, oops, excuse the noise, that we're living in a creation of Maya. Okay? Into Maya. And so that would be basically a simulation, if you will. Hold on. Oh, here you go. It says the entire universe that appears so real to the infinite, to the finite intelligence is no more real than a reflection in the mirror. All the entities in all the worlds, from the gods to the barely conscious creatures, but are fragments of my glory. This is the goddess talking about the nature of the world, like that we live in. That's why I don't care, because I know that it's all a figment of my reality. You know what I mean? I wish that other people could get to that level, you know, but it's like when you tell people things like that, they feel like you're dismissive. So I just listen to people and I just allow them to tell me how they feel, because most of the time people don't want to do anything about their situation. If you listen closely, you will find that most people choose whatever it is. They choose it. Sometimes they be choosing that stuff, and they choose it over and over and over again without ever realizing that they're in a situation of their own making. And then if you offer a different, worldview or something like, hey, have you thought about maybe doing something else? Not saying not doing what you currently doing, right? Because you don't want to be rude. Like, hey, this your fault. We don't want to say that, right? We want to say, have you considered making just this choice or this adjustment to this situation, and and then they come up with so many different reasons as to why they can't make a different choice. And you're not even saying make a different choice. You're saying, hey, have you considered doing this, going this way, or No, they want to keep going that way. They want to keep going that way. And when they don't get to the destination they feel like they should be in, it's just kind of like, well, you keep making the left right turns. You keep doing that. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just listen to people. And sometimes, y'all, when I'm listening to people, I kind of just tune them out just a little bit and just give them a feedback loop of, okay. Because a lot of people just want to talk. They just want to get it out. They don't really want to do anything about it, because a lot of times they're married to the problem. They're married to whatever it is that they're going through. Like, that is their identity. But if you don't want that to be your identity, I promise, if you look at the situation from the outside, we read it just in the book, it said, look from the outside. Stand on the outside and see, well, what did I do? How could I have done something different? Are there any other things available to me? Are there any other options? No idea is a bad idea. I'm sorry. No idea is a bad idea. Let's throw some things at the wall. Let's do some brainstorming. What can we do to change our life? What can we do to just change this situation? You might not be able to change your life in an entire, full sweep of things. But if you could sit there and be like, well, this one thing, if I could change just this one thing, then everything else would be better. For me, it was my finances. Because duh, you know what I mean? But it's just kind of like, if you could change like one thing a year, and you just throw all your energy at that thing, and you don't listen to the naysayers, you don't do I promise, you gonna see some stuff turn. I be highlighting stuff in here because it just gives you the order of things. Basically, in this book, because everybody got a creation story, and it might not be everybody's vibe, but that's whatever. Okay, so, here you go. Look, it says we are all in an immediate contact with the divine here and now, if we only look upon everything as part and parcel of the divine's ever-changing and everlasting self-revelation. Girl, that means we're all in this together. You and me. I'm you, you me. You know what I mean? Yeah, stuff like that. Like, that's what I like to read. Okay, it says, this parable tells us the whole creation is just a revelation and a manifestation of the divine evidence. So me experiencing is God just wanting to experience what it would be like to be on YouTube. Basically, it's a video game. Okay, it looked like she was having fun. When I was reading this book, here you go. It says, in the Great Cosmic Mother, they argue that we are created for labor. Okay, but for this book, the Shakti, we are created for her amusement. Okay, the play, the great cosmic play, or the plot. Okay, whenever we are tired of it, we can clock out, and she will explain the truth of this universe to us, or this experience to us. This is what the book is about. Okay, right. It says, if we are here to learn, we are here to rediscover only one thing, that we are all but droplets in the sea. We are expressions. So the question is, what do you want to experience in your life? We never have time to sit down in silence and be like, what do I want to experience? What do I want to, what I want to do? Because we're so busy, worried about everything, everybody, our job, everything. We worried about everything else, but when do we have time? That's why they didn't want us to sit still. Because when we were sitting still, we started thinking. We started meditating. We were in our own devices. You know what I mean? Things that we were putting up with, we just couldn't put up with it no more. We saw a lot of divorces around the time of the great, sickness and things, because you at the house with this person and you can't ignore that this, because most of the time when people are married or in relationships or cohabitating or whatever, you fill your life up with other things, so you never have to accept this one truth that this man looking you in the face don't really care about you like that for real. You know what I'm saying? You live together, but y'all ain't got nothing in common like that for real. Y'all have changed. Y'all might have been married for 2 to 20 years, but do you know you change as a person, and the person you thought you knew is not what you thought you knew, right? And so we fill our lives up with all this other stuff that we never come back to center. We never come back to center. We never, that's why they want us busy, y'all. They got us busy. So it's just, hold on. Because I read some of this book to my dad. I did. Here you go. I'm going to read this part. See if some, see if something come out to you. Okay, I'm just having fun. It's Friday. Let me have fun. Okay, it says, the human vital energy of the body and the soul, when aroused, flows forth in either beneficent or destructive forms, okay, depending on the nature of the desire that prompts it to externalize. So if you think about something, good or bad, you gonna bring it. You gonna bring it in, right? You have to balance yourself. It says the battlefield of the world is filled with demonic and godly characters, such as you got the people like, I'm not going to say his name, but Mussolini, Gandhi, and Christ. In fact, the universe itself and in our individual worlds are such transformations of the absolute. Each one of us projects our own individual Shakti or vital energy into our own little universe, our immediate environment. We color the neutral screen of the supreme consciousness with the dramas and the dreams of our inner personalities and get caught in the web of our own make-believe world. It sounds like you making it up. That's what they said. I'm sorry. It said the world that we perceive and react to is a product of our own Maya or delusion. Okay. Thus, we are captive of our own Maya Shakti, and we get caught up in its dramatic events, delights, and calamities. Okay, whenever we are entangled and enmeshed in any vital or passionate issue, we are dealing with the projection of our own imagination. This is the spell of Maya, of creative, life-engendering, life-maintaining energy. It is also the spell of the nescience or ignorance. Since the mind is the chief producer of all our personal dramas, ancient Indian wisdom is based on mind transcending experiences in yoga, meditation, and the aims of total transmutation of human nature, a new awareness of both the world and itself. It seeks to release the human beings from the spell-binding projections of their own Maya, to expose their hidden divinity. You're welcome. You don't have to, I'll read it for you. Listen, you have to release yourself. That's why I don't care. It's hard for me to explain to people why I don't care. You know what I mean? In that book, it said that if you took, I'm summarizing, obviously. If you take a lump of dirt, some mud, right? Some chocolate, okay? They have to be on equal footing. Of course, the makeup, the matter, you know that is some chocolate. And that is some manure and some mud, okay? You know that these things are different, but you shouldn't feel no type of way about any of it, because why? It's all an illusion. That's what they said. Maybe I can explain it a little bit better, but it's just kind of like, that's what it's about. You have to have discipline to control your emotions. Sometimes we don't have discipline. We don't have that level, because when you hear certain things, when people say stuff, and it's very, you know what I'm talking about? People saying all type of stuff like that. You know what It's hard to hold your tongue. It's hard to hold your face, because my face started changing. It's hard to do that, especially in these types of times, right? But I find comfort in knowing, okay, that however people feel, whatever people do, they gonna pay for it. Now, I understand that it's an illusion, But in my illusion and my computer software programming, they are going to pay for it. Okay, so watch your mouth. I know that it is Maya, right? But in our neck of the woods, that's why you have to watch what you do and say to people, right? Because you just don't know what you might bring into your life. You just don't know. So you have to keep it cool out here. Keep it light, keep it tight. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. That's what I believe. And then also I believe that the negativity that you put out, because I am you and you are me, then whatever you do to me, it's gonna come back to you, because we're the same. We're all but droplets in the sea. So I know you're gonna get whatever is coming to you. I know, and I believe that anybody that go up against they're going to get whatever they come. It happens every single time. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, it's hard when we're so attached. We're so attached to everything else that's going out into the world. Excuse me, y'all. These Invisalign. Here you go. This lady said she was slaying a monster, okay? And it says that, but her face, like if you're defeating an enemy, you would look angry, but she looks calm. So it says for her, the whole course of this cosmic performance, and that's what life is, a cosmic performance, okay, including her own appearance, is only but a part of the celestial dream we are experiencing right now. And it sounds crazy, very much tinfoil hat, but if I believe anything that is a tinfoil hat situation, this is going to be. Not the earth is flat, okay, because I don't believe in that. I don't care. But this matters, because we're living a celestial dream. It says it's only another scene in the universal drama, right? She plays her part. She remains unconcerned with her own triumphant manifestation. Like if you read the Bible, like, why would you sign up for the end of times if you know you're gonna lose? They got a book about it. They got movies about it. Why would you want to bring that into fruition if you know you're gonna lose? The fact that people believe that they can bring upon like all this negativity in the world because they somehow believe that they're going to win something that is foretold for them to lose, the delusion is Maya. Like, you just made that up. You see what I'm saying? And it is that powerful that people will repeat. The fact that we can repeat history because we are ignorant and we forget what is going on, that is Maya. The ignorance, choosing to be ignorant, or just not choosing it, just being ignorant, just being, oh, this happened already, but I don't think it's going to happen to me. Maya. Or even believing like, but you learn the truth of everything. And it's just kind of like, but here's the other thing. You can learn the truth of everything and people will look at you like you're crazy. So I just don't tell people stuff. That's why I feel kind of nervous, because it's just like, I could tell you not to care. I could tell you to detach and to focus on yourself, right? I could tell you that, but you wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand it unless we had a book or something to back it up, to reframe it like, this is why I believe these things. This is the proof here. And that's why we can be calm in the face of adversity, because we know that we're always going to be okay. How do I know it's going to be? Because it's going to be okay. That is my personal belief. I don't spend my time worried about other people and what they got going on. I can't give. I don't know why I would say I could give. I can't, because I don't have it in me to care as much as people feel like you should. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't care. I don't care. I don't know how to explain it to you. That's why I keep trying to find a book or something, a page. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find a page. Look at it. I'm trying to I'm sorry. I know we live and we recording, but I just want you to know. And I know we're not supposed to have the silence and everything like that, but I just kind of feel like I have to explain, why you shouldn't care. Because I feel like when you watch those videos, people are going to tell you the same thing over and over and over again. It's regurgitating information about detaching. But it's like, what can you do? What is the mindset behind unattachment? You know what I'm saying? What is the mindset behind unattachment? Girl, if you know that the world is truly what you make it, then it makes you responsible. You know what I mean? And I think that is another reason why we care too much, is because if you know that the world is what you make it, you make the world, you shape your experiences based off of what you want, then you are now responsible. Free will is just not something we say for fun. If you have free will, then that means you are responsible for whatever you bring into your life, whatever you think about, anything. And a lot of times we want a scapegoat. We want to be like, oh, well, this is happening, so this is the reason why I'm not successful, or this is happening, this is the reason why I didn't get this, or this, putting the blame on something else, something or someone else outside of ourselves. Because this is happening, because they are in power or whatever, we can't do what we need to do for ourselves. No. Scale it back to what you can control with your 5 fingers. This 5-finger discount. What can you do with your hand, right? And what can you pull into yourself? Like, what can you pour? Like, what do you want to do? And a lot of times, a lot of people haven't sit down with themselves and figure out, like, what do you want to do? What do you want? Who do you want to be, right? And what steps do you need to take to get there? Detach from what they talking about, because they ain't talking about nothing. They not talking about nothing. Like, you can read the news and be like, oh, that's so sad. You know what I mean? Like, that is so sad. I'm so sorry that this is going on. I'm so sorry that this and this and that and the third. But it's just like, like celebrity news. Girl, I don't care. Like, why do you care? I don't care. We don't care. We do not care. You shouldn't care. The reason why we have people like with these crazy platforms is because we care. The moment we stop caring, they cease to exist. Because if I never knew you existed, right? You don't really exist like that. There are people out there, I don't know them. I've never heard of these people before. I don't know. And you can't care about what you don't know. You see? I think you should stop knowing. Not being ignorant, but it's just like, don't be automatically seeking out new information that has nothing to do with you. We have to mind the business that pays us. And not saying that money is the most important thing, but we have to, mind things that are the most valuable. You have to get into, what do you value as a person? What are your values? What do you care about? What do you want to bring into your life? And it makes you responsible. The moment we step out of, they pointing the finger out at other people and that's the reason why. No, it's what you bring your attention to, what you think about all day. That's what you're going to materialize. If they sitting up here talking about, this is a cosmic performance, this is a play, and we need to do it for the plot. That's what it said in here, okay? That's what it said. I'm summarizing, obviously. But it's like, do it for the plot. So if you watching your movie of your life back and all you see is you thinking about other people or other situations that have nothing to do, did you really live? Is that movie worth watching? Is that worth listening to? If it was a podcast, is it given? You should do what you need to do for the plot. Obviously be safe. But it's just kind of like all that stuff that we, like, when people pass away, their biggest regret is not doing the things that they wanted to do. They care too much about what other people thought about them. They care too much about what other people might say, or they were afraid of what the circumstances might be if they made that decision. We got to get out of that. I'm telling you right, I told you a story about the people, that was working, they passed away, and the only reason we found out that they passed away is because they didn't show up for work. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be that person, like nobody's looking for you other than the people that you owe money to, them credit cards, or the only people that's looking for you is your employer because you're supposed to be at work and you ain't clock in, but you couldn't clock in because you wasn't here? Is that what you want? Is that the life? Like, is that what they want? Like, no family, no nothing. I try not to be, but it's like that. It's like that for real. Like, it's real. It's real out here. So I'm just saying, okay, detach. I'm trying to de-influence you from caring too much, okay? Because it is truly life or death, okay? It is, okay? So I'm sorry. I feel like this video was kind of like a slow burn because I was trying to like get into it, but I just couldn't care. I couldn't even care for this video because I didn't know like how to explain it, like how to explain to other people why you shouldn't care. And I just was like, you know, what if people don't understand it? So let me look at my book. But even when I was reading my book, I was like, it might be a little too esoteric, but that's just me. The people that I, you know, interact with on a daily basis, sometimes, you guys, they're just not there, you know. And I just know that I feel like your spiritual journey, your whatever your journey is, it is going to be a lonely journey. It's that alienating vibe because everybody is not, they are living what they call the matrix. They are living in that, and that is their thing. That is their thing. But the moment you try to detach and unplug yourself, you're gonna, these agents, they want to suck you back into it. It sounds crazy, but it's real. It is real, right? And you have to choose within yourself, like, I don't care. I don't even have enough capacity to give or to pour into something else. I just only have the capacity to pour into my thing. You have to become self-obsessed, right? Not to the point where like you're rude to other people, but it's just kind of like you can't care about everything. You can't be a champion of every single cause. You can't do that. That's not, you gonna stretch yourself too thin. You have to pick like 3 things that you gonna care about. You need to be number 1, but pick like 2 other things, okay? And then that's it. That's it. Well, that's it. Don't get too angry. We can sign up, but you have to make moves. And oftentimes you're going to have to make your moves silently. You can't tell everybody what you're doing, because the moment you start telling people and everything like that, then they project their energy, their experiences, and a lot of times their mindset is based off of their own experience, their own Maya, their own delusions. We all got our own delusions. Some delusions are better than others, right? But it's just like you don't want other people to infect them negative energies into your thing. So yeah, it's an alienating situation. The other part is like when you're trying to unplug and stop caring and detaching, you know, that's when everybody is going to try to reattach you back into everything that they have going on, right? But it's just like you have to make the choice for yourself. You have to make the choice. And a lot of times people value, you know, company more than they value their own existence. Like you would rather be around other people and have other people identify with you, like you, love you, rather than to unplug and really get into your own situation, you know? And then from there, you know, you're more likely to find people who are on the same wavelength, you know? But it's different for everybody. But I'm telling you right now, it is a very serious matter to not be caring as much as you do. You need to detach. Why? Because it's not real. It's only real if you think it's real. So you have to pick and choose what's real to you, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining it right, but it's just like, I found it very hard to explain, to care, how to care, or why you should care. I don't think you should care. Not about much, you know, your friends and your family. That's it. That's all. All right. So hopefully you like this video. Hopefully this video wasn't too off the rip. I'm going to rewatch it and see. I'm going to do tomorrow. I want to do a test live stream. I'm reminding myself to do that so that I can figure out how to do live streams vertical and horizontal at the same time. Pray for me.